Okay, so you want to own a McDonald's, buy the franchise, hang the golden arches, and watch the burgers sell themselves. Millions of customers a day, the most famous brand on planet Earth. How could you possibly lose? Here's the problem: McDonald's doesn't really sell burgers. McDonald's is a landlord. And the moment you understand who actually owns the building you're standing in, you'll understand why the corporation almost never loses, and why you might. Let's start with what it costs to get in the door. You don't just buy a McDonald's, you apply. The company demands at least $750,000 of your own money, not borrowed. Yours. Then the franchise fee, $45,000. Then the build-out, kitchen equipment, signage, seating, the famous fryers. By the time the doors open, you are in for anywhere from $1.5 to $2.7 million. And the building? It usually is not yours. And here's the first surprise: that money does not buy you a brand new McDonald's. In nearly every case, new locations go to operators the company already trusts. You, the newcomer, step into an existing restaurant. Someone else's kitchen, someone else's crew, someone else's problems. What you are really buying is a 20-year contract, 20 years, and you sign it alone. McDonald's does not allow partnerships or outside investors. No rich uncle. No silent partner. One name on the paper, yours. So the real question is not, can you afford the restaurant? It is, what exactly did you become for the next 20 years? To answer that, go back to 1956. Ray Kroc's young company was barely surviving. His tiny franchise fees did not even cover his costs. Then his finance chief, Harry Sonneborn, had the idea that changed everything. Forget the burgers, control the land. His new company bought and leased the ground under every new restaurant and charged the franchisee rent on top of royalties. Sonneborn put it bluntly, "We are not technically in the food business. We are in the real estate business." That model never left. Today, McDonald's owns or controls the land and buildings under most of its restaurants. The corporation you just joined is one of the largest real estate empires on Earth, and you just became its tenant. Here is what being that tenant costs. Every single month, off the top of your sales, not your profits, your sales, rent, a fixed base, plus a slice of everything you ring up. Reportedly somewhere between 8.5% and 15% of gross sales, depending on the site. Then the service fee, 4% of sales. And if you open a brand new restaurant today, 5%. The first royalty hike in nearly 30 years. Then advertising, at least 4% more. Add it up. Before you pay for a single beef patty, a single hour of labor, a single light bulb, roughly a fifth of every dollar can already be gone. The register rings, and McDonald's has already been paid. So let's slow down and actually do the math. The average American McDonald's now rings up roughly $4 million a year in sales. Sounds enormous? Watch how fast it shrinks. Food and paper take about 28 to 30 cents of every dollar. Labor takes another giant bite. Together, food and labor swallow well over half of everything that comes in. Then rent, then fees, then advertising, then utilities, insurance, repairs, training. When the counting is done, the average operator in recent years cleared roughly $500,000 of cash flow per store. $500,000 from $4 million in sales, about 12 cents on the dollar. Good money? Absolutely. But notice who carried every cost. And notice who got paid first, no matter what. Now, here's where the naive mental model really breaks down. You think, fine, expensive rent, but at least it's my restaurant. It is not. Not the way you imagine. McDonald's decides what is on the menu. McDonald's runs the national promotions even when a $1 deal squeezes your margin on every single sale. McDonald's sets the standards for your kitchen, your equipment, your remodels, and inspects you against them. And when they announce an upgrade, you pay your share, whether this year was good to you or not. You own the profit and loss. They own the playbook. You are not the author of this business, you are its operator. That is literally what McDonald's calls its franchisees. Owner/operator. Notice which word comes second. If that sounds abstract, here's what it feels like in practice. December 2020. McDonald's tells its operators they owe an extra $423 a month per store in back fees for the ordering technology. A small number? Multiply it. Owner groups run mini stores and the bill lands every single month. The operators pushed back hard and the fight dragged deep into 2021. Because when your landlord is also your franchisor and also your technology vendor, every small line item is a reminder of the same fact. This relationship is not a partnership of equals, it is a lease with extra steps. And in 2018, the operators finally said it out loud. That fall, more than 400 of them met in Tampa, Florida, and voted to create something McDonald's had never seen in its 63-year history: an independent owners association, the National Owners Association. Why then? Profits per store had been shrinking. The experience of the future remodels were costing operators from about $160,000 to as much as $750,000 per restaurant. And the dollar menu was moving food at prices many owners said barely covered the cost of selling it. The people who should have been the system's biggest cheerleaders organized like a union, against their own brand. Read that again. So why does anyone still line up to get in? Because the machine works. About 95% of American McDonald's are owned by franchisees, and the typical owner does not run one store. Industry estimates put the average at around 6 to 8 locations. At $500,000 of cash flow per store, an operator with 7 of them is clearing several million a year. The brand fills your parking lot before you spend a single dollar of your own marketing, and that 20-year contract cuts both ways. It binds you. It also protects you. This is the honest tension at the heart of the Golden Arches. It is one of the best businesses money can buy. It is just not entirely yours. Picture the same store through 2 different years. The good year. Sales strong at $4 million. Costs controlled. The crew stays. And the store hands you $500,000 or more of cash flow. Now the realistic year. A remodel lands on your schedule. Beef prices climb. 2 competitors open down the road. The promo calendar squeezes your margins, and a manager quits in the busiest quarter. Same street, same arches. Your cash flow can fall by hundreds of thousands of dollars, while every percentage owed to McDonald's gets paid in full. First, from the top line. That is the asymmetry you are really buying. Your income moves. Theirs barely does. Sonneborn designed it that way 70 years ago. It has never needed to change. So, should you buy a McDonald's? If you have $750,000 free, 20 years of patience, and the humility to run someone else's playbook, it may be the safest expensive thing you will ever do. Just understand what you are signing. You are not buying a burger business, you are renting one. And the landlord never loses.